Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN Television News. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
I'm reaching my dreams with GUT. They're the ones for me. I'm reaching my dreams with GUT. They're the ones for me. Since 1983, they've been serving the country, and we like all their financing, giving the people what they want, what they need, what they love. Come and join the family that's here for you all the way, from birth to graduation, your first job to your home and your car through your golden years.
The GT Credit Union has been actively supporting nation building through its many sponsorships and programs, including financial literacy quiz, Pass the Torch Calypso program, junior cooperatives in secondary schools, CPEA, and the TAMCC grants. The credit union has helped many people make their dreams come true. Let them help you with yours. You don't have to be a teacher to be a member. So what are you waiting for?
GUT Credit Union, it's where you belong.
This is the GBN Television News on Monday, the 10th of August, 2020. In the headlines, Carnival is cancelled, but the revelry was not stopped. Black Jabs make deliberate, unimpeded parade in front of St. Paul's Police Station. Grenadian journalist and newspaper publisher says he fears for his life, hence his refusal to enter state-appointed quarantine facility. Family members appealing for assistance in identifying hit-and-run driver. Weekend of grief following Concord social gathering. In the sports news, sports journalist says representation on the international scene and major sporting arenas is not enough. And in around the globe, Trinidad and Tobago nationals cast ballots on Monday to elect a new government. And Hong Kong business tycoon Jimmy Lau arrested. Good evening from the Grenada Broadcasting Network. I'm Kenroy Baptiste. Details after this.
Get high making money moves with the NLA's new Aces High Scratch game with 4 chances to win. Beat the dealer's card to win the prize shown. Reveal an A symbol. And just like that, you are automatically a winner. Scratch away to win the top prize of $10,000. Win easy with Scratch. Must be 18 or older to play.
Thanks for joining us. It was not a morning like this, but for many a band did not stop the jab, jab, jam. A typical Carnival Monday morning includes a mass of black and colored bodies. However, the COVID-19 pandemic led to the cancellation of Spice Mass 2020. With no carnival, government took another decision to have no public holiday on August 10th and 11th. But that did not deter revelers from doing things their way.
With Monday and Tuesday as normal working days, one begs the question, has this fallen on deaf ears? GBN team combed different communities throughout the country Monday morning, and this was the mood on the ground. While some might say no Juve 2020, others are saying they played a mass. In the fishing capital Guav, some headed out to their normal day's work. Others, causing little to no obstruction to traffic, masqueraders paraded the streets. Others entertained themselves within the confines of their yard space. presence were visible. Over in Sunset City, Victoria, the tradition was kept alive as we caught up with a group of vehicles just around Hero Square in St. Mark's. Relatively quiet as we pass through Main Street Satires as well as Chantimel, the home of the famous Shotney. Not much to show for St. Andrews than that of a few jab in Meadows in Conference St. Andrew. Back in the capital, people went about their daily business as normal. Christelina John, GBN News.
Well, the action started in several hot spots on the weekend. Pockets of revelry were evident as early as Friday night. And by Sunday, some villages were in full swing.
What was purported to be planned defiance by the general public on what should have been the carnival weekend was quickly quelled on Sunday at various locations throughout the island as members of the Royal Grenada Police Force sought to maintain law and order. While roving across the island, GBN noticed that the few locations where mass was being played either had police presence or festivities were moderate due to officers enforcing the law by suspending amplified music, which is illegal at this time. Areas considered hotspots, which were expected to be packed last evening, were dismal, including Guave and St. Patrick, where mass players were recorded last week participating in festivities. Throughout the trip, the sentiments expressed were the same. The police locked off the music. Since they were prohibited from playing amplified music, revelers resorted to other means to keep themselves entertained.
It's the last chance, job insurance. You have up to 5 minutes to save 15%. Roadside assistance.
Run out of oil.
Run out of oil.
Are we there to provide?
Are we there to provide? We were there to be serving you for the next 100 years to come. The more years you have in the business, it'll be better for you. The more you save.
What you know about job? They talking job. What you know about job? Why you talking job? Well, to be honest, I feel like a hurt, but it's all good because we have to understand what's really going on right now. It's a very serious time right now with the COVID-19 and everything, but we don't really feel know how about it still, because at the end of the day, this what's going on here does go on anytime. Honestly, the police are already there for no reason. They just there to really keep us safe, you understand? They're already there to stop nothing. And we want to big up the police for coming and making sure that the traffic running good. But all you know, job must pay. All you understand, job must play. You don't have nothing as cancellation of carnival. You could cancel the carnival, but you cannot cancel the job. All you understand what I'm saying?
The RGPF issued a statement last week stating that carnival activities were illegal at this time. Citizens responded with a fake letter carrying the RGPF's letterhead stating such activities were allowed from August 9th to August 11th. The origin of the letter is still being investigated. For GBN News, Beverly Telesford.
The Cobotong area in St. Paul's is well known for its annual Jab Jab Fest. Reports are that a couple weeks ago, a jab crew started up a shindig in the village, but the celebrations were short-lived as the police stepped in and shut down the fiesta. Well, as the action played out in various pockets across the island on the weekend, St. Paul's was not left out of the mix. Joseph Kador has this report.
What made their parade striking was the fact that the Jabs made sure to parade outside the St. Paul's police station. As if to send a message, they walked quietly and in single files, as if to say, we are observing the social distancing protocols. As about 50% of the masqueraders made it past the station, there was a slight signal of jubilation, as if to say, we have sent a message, achieved our goal. The video in circulation does not depict any signs of police presence, interest, or intervention, even if it was happening right outside the doors of the police station. Observers say it could be a sign that both sides respected what could have been deemed as an act of civil disobedience, while celebrating Grenadian culture on a day usually set aside for same, but interrupted by COVID-19 in 2020. Joseph Cador, GBN News.
Cultural activist and homegrown historian Livingston Nelson has been monitoring the activities here in recent days, culminating with this morning's festivities in various locations. He joins us live on the line to dissect the ins and outs of how people handled themselves. Mr. Nelson, thanks for joining us. As we know, government passed legislation reversing Carnival Monday and Tuesday public holidays for 2020. Based on what you saw over the weekend and into this morning, what have the revelers said to the authorities?
Well, there is a lot of message, but I don't think the message just came just because of the act. I think it has been a build-up of different scenarios that has led to that level of defiance that we are seeing right now. But maybe if we look at Carnival in a cultural and historical perspective, I think at the end people would be able to understand what we're really talking about. Carnival itself is not just about fun and frolic. Carnival and the Grenadian experience has been one that is traditional, but one that offers us a chance to launch the biggest protest, the biggest demonstration. When you look at Old Mass, all what you see directly from Old Mass, placards reminiscent of a demonstration. You listen to the chutney, and the chant is protest against the ills of society. The Jab Jab itself, in particular, is an anti-institution, anti-colonial, anti-racism movement that developed in a way to show, because the teaching that we got from Jab Jab is basically they are reacting against the notion that because we are black, we are evil. So Jab Jab had become an anti-colonial, as I said, and so they have refused to accept the teaching that we are inferior because of our blackness. And for the record, I am saying that the people that are the salt of the earth, the people that are basically the one that are the upholders, the creators of culture. And so this message of defiance didn't just start with that, but it was propelled. Mm-hmm. Mainly because it is a message of defiance, but it was propelled because of the double standard that the government has shown. The lack of believability on the part of the administration, the lack of credibility as people see it. And in a sense, people are asking, who is it that the government is supporting? Who are they defending? Who are the stakeholders? So people are angry, generally angry with what is taking place and what is happening on the street throughout the length and breadth of Grenada is a defiance.
So is this
a defiance, a protest?
So is this a rebellion or a situation in which people just cannot get what they see as their culture out of their brains in August?
I think it has to be a combination of both. One is that it is a protest. And if you are monitoring the series of incidents that happened, one maybe in America, the Black Lives Matter, the Fort Judy incident, the blocking up of the granite of the lake, the selling of our beachfront, etc., etc. All is helping to show the passing of the bill. The double standard that we saw on Friday night, permission is given to a sect of people while the rest of the population cannot participate in the same carnival-like activity. People are reacting to all those scenarios that make them feel that they are less than, and that is the way of showing a defiance to the present administration.
Livingston Nelson, we know you're passionate about culture, but it should be health first. What would you say, though, to people in light of the COVID-19 protocols that are being disobeyed in some instances?
Well, disobeyed not just by people playing the job, but persons that were on the Friday night activity, people that gathered in the party they had in Carriacou. It has been flaunted in the face of persons. So I think what happened, the head cannot be showing one side, or persons in authority showing one side, and then expect the population not to take notice of what is happening. And Kenroy, I have an extract here from a poem that I think really would put some light on what is happening on the street today. If you just permit me. The youths are angry when you call it permanent state of emergency, making wills and deals secretly, trying to push us back in the days of slavery, keeping us hungry, blocking our MoneyGram money. The youths are angry because the man that tried to kill Panorama has just hosted Friday Soca, dishing out big dollar while carnival activity is cancelled for all other. The youths are angry because they are second-class citizens in their own country, where there is politics without political discourse, politicians without political passion and morals, parliamentarians without conviction and principles, opposition members without visions and plans to oppose, leaders that are spineless, permanent secretaries that work against the ministries and country, Grenadian ambassadors that do not like Grenada. Yes, the youths are angry, but they are very angry indeed. So this is just an extract from a poem. We try to capture what actually is happening in this country. So it's a culmination of persons wanting to protect themselves. Everybody wants to leave. Everybody wants to protect themselves. But the double standard, the believability of those that are actually pushing the message of COVID and pushing COVID in front of everything.
Right. We have to leave it there for the time being. Cultural activist and homegrown historian Livingston Nelson, many thanks indeed.
Thank you
watching
very much.
Indeed. You're watching the news. We'll be right back.
Free groceries for 1 year when you shop at the food fair. Up to $8,400 in groceries. Every $50 spent between June 15th and September 30th gives you the opportunity to enter into the grand prize draw for October 9th, 2020. Third prize, free groceries for 3 months. Second prize, free groceries for 6 months. And the grand prize, free groceries every month for 1 year. There will be exciting giveaways monthly. Food fair, where you can fill your baskets without emptying your pockets. This promotion is sponsored by Food Fair Supermarket, Dutch Lady, Chief, Promo, Danny, and Supreme. Social distancing and hygienic protocols will be maintained at all times.
Range Developments, the developers of the planned 6 Senses Lassagers Resort, invites all interested persons, environmental advocates, environmental enthusiasts, farmers, fishermen, community members of St. David's and surrounding areas to a town hall meeting on August 12, 2020 at Lassagers Nature Works from 5:30 p.m. Come to hear details of what is planned for the development of the 6 Senses Lassagers Resort. Ask questions and get answers to your questions about this project. Range Developments. We build for the future. Let's work together.
Our superheroes are all among us. They don't wear capes nor have superpowers. In fact, they appear to be quite ordinary. They are the ones who provide us with food. They are our farmers, our grocery store workers, our vendors. They are our fishermen. They are the ones who heal us, our doctors and medical practitioners. They are the ones who protect us, our police officers. They are all the other essential workers who make this period bearable. And how can we forget our teachers, dedicated to educating our children no matter the circumstance? To everyone who is doing their part to make sure the wheel keeps turning, Ariza says, thank you.
There's a reason we have been here to serve you for the past 40 years. A reason we have continued to grow. A reason we have continued to celebrate. That reason is you. We have been here to help you plan for your future and here to help you celebrate your achievements. We continue to be here, even when the future seems unclear. Because one thing is certain, you're the reason we care.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Dreaming of taking a break and escaping to an idyllic, happy place? Well, finding it does not require you to go too far. You already live in paradise. All it takes is for you to go out and discover it. Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique are blessed with a wide variety of accommodation that satisfy any taste and budget. Find the one that suits you and your family and treat yourself while having peace of mind that your health and safety is a priority. Knowing that we have gorgeous waterfalls, stunning beaches, and flavorful cuisine, let's be tourists in our own islands and enjoy paradise at home.
From Hillsborough to Point Celine, Flow has you covered. We value and support our future generations. We understand the importance of saying hello. Keeping you connected is our priority. We have been working day and night to improve our networks because we believe a connected country moves forward. We will continue to work to give you the best mobile LTE and home networks because with Flow, it only gets better.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
There's a reason we have been here to serve you for the past 40 years. A reason we have continued to grow. A reason we have continued to celebrate. That reason is you. We have been here to help you plan for your future and here to help you celebrate your achievements. We continue to be here, even when the future seems unclear. Because one thing is certain, you're the reason we care.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
A standoff of sorts appears to have been brewing at the Maurice Bishop International Airport. Publisher of the New Today newspaper, George Worm, arrived on a flight from the United States and resisted attempts to have him quarantined at a state-appointed facility. He said that before returning to Grenada, he had applied to the Ministry of Health to proceed on self-quarantine. Worm said in a statement issued on social media that it is well known he is considered an enemy of the state and he was not prepared to go into any facility selected by the state or its agents. He said he feared for his life and referenced the tragic deaths of 2 international journalists in the last 4 years. The Grenadian journalist said he was tested on arrival and the PCR test was negative, hence he believed he should be allowed to go home where he has adequate facilities for self-quarantine. On Monday morning, the Ministry of Health issued a reminder that all individuals arriving from high-risk areas must undergo a mandatory rapid test, following which they will be required to proceed to a government-approved accommodation at their own expense. It also reiterated that any person who is asked by any official of the Ministry of Health to submit himself to any test for COVID-19, self-isolation or quarantine must comply with the direction as per the Emergency Powers COVID-19 regulations. The Grenada Broadcasting Network understands that Worm eventually went to a government-approved quarantine location. GBN contacted him today, but he declined our request for an interview. Any person who contravenes or fails to comply with these regulations or any direction for the purposes of these regulations shall be guilty of an offence. Now, a River Road resident sustained injuries during what he says was a hit-and-run accident in the St. George's area on Friday night. His family is now seeking help to apprehend the driver of the vehicle. Rena Pear tells us more.
29-year-old Kevin Mitchell, who resides in the Gleens in St. George, was struck by a vehicle between the hours of 11:12 to 11:20 p.m. on Friday, the 7th of August, in the Mungay area. According to his sister, Janelle Frederick, her brother was on his way home when a vehicle hit him from behind and never stopped. Mitchell's sister told GBN he was unconscious for a few minutes before recovering to call for help from a friend. Janelle Frederick says her brother is presently hospitalized.
He suffered a broken right hand and damage to his left eye. Presently, he's stable. He's having a lot of pain in the hand, but he's trying to cope with the situation, trying to stay positive, and hoping that all will go well and that he can have a fast and full recovery. Nice for somebody to be in an accident and hit somebody and you just drive off, treating the person as if they're not a human being or more so a dog. So it's very painful for us at this time as a family.
Frederick says her brother is very upset and traumatized by the situation. She is calling on the public's assistance to apprehend the driver.
I would like the public to assist us if anybody heard anything or saw anything or have any information relating to the accident that happened Friday night, the 7th of August 2020. If the persons can come forward, contact me. My telephone number is 535-7890. Any sort of assistance we can get to find out who did this to my brother, we would really appreciate it.
The family of Mitchell is also offering a $1,000 reward to anyone who comes forward with any information that will lead to the arrest of the driver of the vehicle. Frederick told GBN the matter was brought to the attention of the Royal Grenada Police Force and is currently under investigation. For GBN News, I am Rena Pear reporting.
The weekend ended on a sad note for a family of St. George. They were greeted with the sad news that a social activity at the Concord Waterfalls ended tragically. GBN understands that Peter Blackman, who is believed to have been in his 30s, drowned while swimming at the falls. Blackman, who resided at River Road, St. George, visited the waterfalls with friends as part of a social activity when he encountered some difficulty after driving into the water. Peter Blackman, of course, is 20 years of age. We can tell you that the last reported deaths at the falls were the double drowning of Travis Alexander and Kareem Smith in 2016. So tragic. We'll be right back.
It's new, innovative and classy, and it cut above the rest. Your one-stop shop for bathtubs, kitchenette, customized doors and windows, and even a new paint job. We also sell quartz and solid surface countertops. At M&N Hardware, we offer best prices, excellent service, efficiency, and reliability. Visit us at Dusty Highway, Grandin, St. George, or call telephone number 440-6757. M&N Hardware, from foundation to roof. Let's build together.
How going on, boy? Hey, good old things. Hey, they easy? Yeah. Boy, in line, boy, your house looking a real good day. Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of the way, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service. Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy.
Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex or give them a call 440-1015 or 440-1016 or check out their website hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
At Communal, we are adapting to meet the changing needs of our shareholders and members. Times are changing, and with the changing times comes a whole new way to do business. Our parents may have done their banking a different way. Communal's state-of-the-art online banking and international debit card allows members to do business with great ease. It's like literally having a branch in your very own hands. Need a loan? Apply online from the comfort of your own home anywhere in the world, and your request will be dealt with remotely. Want to transfer between your accounts or another shareholder? No wait time for transactions to update. Voila! Who needs receipts when you can receive them via e-statements on your mobile device and save the environment? Not a Communal member? You can join our family today by applying online. At Communal, we see you working hard to ensure that you save, invest, and grow. Communal. Join us today. This will be the best financial decision you have ever made.
They say sometimes less is more, but at Real Value IGA Supermarket, we believe more is more. And since we are all about more, we want to buy more from farmers like you so we can sell more to our customers. If you have a farmer's ID and fresh produce to sell, Real Value IGA wants to buy.
For more information, contact Real Value IGA on WhatsApp at 405-4405 or give them a call at 439-2121.
Missing the mass? No, here's an opportunity to win big with the Grenada Distillers Limited. Purchase any specially marked bottle of pure white or special dark for a chance to win. Look out for the Missing the Mass scratch ticket and win prizes instantly. Available at supermarkets island-wide. Prizes include mobile top-up, hydration backpack, domino sets, shot glasses, Clax Code product, t-shirts, and other Spice Mass merchandise. Plus much more. Grand prize, the ultimate Missing the Mass Clax Code beach line for you and 10 friends. Food, drinks, music, and more. It's the Missing the Mass scratch and win promotion. Clax Code Rum, Grenada's #1 rum.
Range Developments, the developers of the plant's 6 Senses Lasages Resort, invites all interested persons, environmental advocates, environmental enthusiasts, farmers, fishermen, community members of St. David's and surrounding areas to a town hall meeting on August 12, 2020 at Lasages Nature Works from 5:30 p.m. Come to hear details of what is planned for the development of the 6 Senses Lasages Resort. Ask questions and get answers to your questions about this project. Range Developments. We build for the future. Let's work together.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium. This segment is brought to you by Flow.
Who wants to save 30%? Everybody. Now more than ever, Flow understands the need to make your dollar stretch. Our new bundles can help you save 30% off your current bill. Plus, get a free speed upgrade on your in-home internet. Simply add your mobile to your current home services account and save 30%. It's easy. Sign up now and save. All on the best fixed and mobile network on island. Visit a Flow store or call us at 1-800-804-2994 for more information. Flow, keeping you connected. Terms and conditions apply.
You're watching news at 7. Relative to the tragedy at Concord Waterfalls, we'd want, of course, to let you know that Peter Blackman is believed to be in his 20s. So just a heads up relative to that. Now, 9 soca artists competed in Friday night's virtual soca competition. Sunshine Promotions Cyber Monarch, the show was held at the National Stadium while streamed live virtually in keeping with COVID-19 protocols. The rest in this report.
The Sunshine Promotions Cyber Monarch King, Jaylon Boise Olive. The show, held on Friday night, which would have been Soca Monarch Night had Spice Mass 2020 not been cancelled, was put on by Sunshine Promotions at the National Stadium. The show's production and execution was similar to that of the annual Soca Monarch, with exception of the crowd at the venue. Points from the performances in both categories, Groovy and Power Soca, were accumulated to determine the winner, crowning Boise the overall king. Second place went to Shondell Dash Amedi. Third position was secured by brothers Kellon and Kelson O'Geist, Lunispark and Electrify. The other 6 artists competing to win up to $75,000 in cash prizes were Rooney J, Little Carey, Tallpree, Lednick, Terra the Governor, and Slatter. For GBN News, Beverly Telesford.
Other news, lead consultant for GECO Caribbean, Dr. Valma Jessamy, is clearing the air on their involvement in the Range Developers Project in St. David. Dr. Jessamy says she is not being reactive to statements made by Minister for Trade Oliver Joseph, but says she feels there was a need to protect the legacy of GECO Caribbean. Christina John reports.
Caribbean's consultant, Dr. Valma Jessamy, is not taking blame for what some sees as the destruction of the environment and ecosystem. Parliamentary Representative and Minister for Trade Oliver Joseph, during a media engagement on Thursday, pointed to Dr. Jessamy as the person responsible for conducting the environmental impact assessment. During a media brief on Friday, Dr. Jessamy stated GECO Caribbean's position on the Range Developers Project in Lassages, St. David.
Our job was very specific, to do an assessment pre-implementation of the project and to provide recommendations and best practices. We never recommended any clear cutting of the site or removal of the mangrove trees. What we did recommend was that selective removal should happen.
The lead consultant for GECO says they have not seen the final design concepts or any of the applications or representations that may have been made to the physical planning unit. Dr. Jessamy added their undertaking is separate to that of a geotechnical study to inform building design.
We completed our draft report. It was given to the developer, and I assume that in order for them to get full planning permission and go ahead to implement, they would have submitted that document to the competent authority, which is the Land Development Control Authority, through the physical planning unit. It is the competent authority and not the EIA or the consultant who has overall responsibility for guiding the implementation of a project.
Dr. Jessamy says many recommendations were put forward in the document, which she is not clear were followed.
We also had recommendations for the developer to collect different juveniles and to put them into a nursery so that replanting could also happen. I am not aware if that has happened. We are not privy to any of the communications that may have happened between the Physical Planning Authority and range development. We have not been retained by the developer to guide the implementation of the best practices that were recommended for the project.
Christina John, GBN News.
Most systems have been predicted for the 2020 Atlantic hurricane season. We get more in this report.
Initial predictions suggest that Grenada and the rest of the region were in for an above-average 2020 hurricane season, with just about 19 named storms, 8 of which were expected to reach hurricane strength, and 4 major hurricanes. There is now an update to this year's Atlantic hurricane season prediction. This means the numbers have climbed, with more storms expected, as well as major hurricanes. GBN contacted the Meteorological Office at the Maurice Bishop International Airport for an update on this latest development and spoke with forecaster Andre Charles.
So for the initial forecast that was issued in the month of May 2020, we're looking at between 13 to 19 named storms, and of those storms we expected that 6 to 10 to be developed into hurricanes. Of those hurricanes, we expected between 3 to 6 to be major hurricanes. However, as of the 6th of August, the forecast has been updated by the Hurricane Center, and now we're looking at between 19 to 25 named storms and 7 to 11 hurricanes, and major hurricanes forecast remains the same, between 3 to 6.
According to Charles, we're in for a very active rest of the season, as he urged people to continue to take precautionary measures to mitigate against the effects. Already 8 systems have passed for the season so far. Charles tells of what can be expected in coming days.
The season seems to be very quiet. However, we just have one tropical wave. It is still out of our forecast zone. That is right now it's low. It has a 60% chance of formation within the next 48 hours. That's as of 2 p.m. today. But that is very far away from us still, so it's very too early to determine its potential for development, or if it do develop, what direction it would take. So that's in just about 700 miles east-southeast for the islands, yeah. That is where it's located. So it's still far away, so we cannot predict any. It is still early to make any prediction.
Christina John, GBN News.
Time for this evening's GBN EyeSaw, complements Clear Vision Eye Center.
A good eye captures all. GBN EyeSaw is brought to you by Clear Vision.
You know us, but we knew. You feel at home with every visit. An experienced team offering personalized courtier service and trendy brand name lifestyle products. We're changing the vision care landscape one customer at a time. Clear Vision Eye Center. People and technology coming together to help you see the world with a clearer vision.
Tonight's EyeSaw was captured in the alleyway connecting Melville Street to Halifax Street in St. George's. Our EyeSaw reporter stumbled upon the person relieving himself in an area which many have pointed to as a sore point in the city. Members of the public have expressed concern about the stench emanating from that vicinity, since many use the area as a urinal. We thank our EyeSaw reporter for that submission. You can send in your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp on 405-3052 and our other social media platforms.
Once upon a time, we shopped at Wonderland, then Neverland. But we're all grown up now and no longer believe in fairy tales. So now we just shop at Shoes R Us. At Shoes R Us, we stock the latest in shoes, tops, and jeans for the fashion-conscious lady. We also carry colognes and much, much more. And for the modern trendy male, we have the latest brand name shoes and sneakers, Converse, Reebok, Nike, K-Swiss, Puma, and much more. So check us out at our 2 convenient locations, Melville Street in St. George and Ben Jones Street in Granville. At Shoes R Us, we say, come shop with us.
Shipping is fast and reliable. Always on time, safe and affordable. Friendly staff here to connect you. Tropical worldwide, you must get you. Shop online and you get it on time. Hassle free to meet your deadline. Consolidate any size, any load. With Tropical Shipping, so we ship everything. I can't wait to ship with Tropical. Can't wait. No package too big, too small. I cannot wait to ship with Tropical. No package too big, too small. Just ship with Tropical.
Local agents, George F. Huggins and Company, Grenada Limited. A telephone number 440-8787 or visit our website at www.tropical.com. Email us at grenadasales@tropical.com. Tropical Shipping, committed to island life.
Missing the mass? No, here's an opportunity to win big with the Grenada Distillers Limited. Purchase any specially marked bottle of pure white or special dark for a chance to win. Look out for the Missing the Mass scratch ticket and win prizes instantly. Available at supermarkets island-wide. Prizes include mobile top-up, hydration backpack, domino sets, shot glasses, Clax Code product, t-shirts, and other Spice Mass merchandise. Plus much more. Grand prize. The ultimate Missing the Mass Clax Code beach line for you and 10 friends. Food, drinks, music, and more. It's the Missing the Mass scratch and win promotion. Clax Code Rum, Grenada's #1 rum.
Hills and Valley Medcare Center, located on Grenville Street, St. George's, has a highly professional team that gives excellent service in massage therapy, physiotherapy, speech therapy, medical consultation, and more. Hills and Valley Medcare Center sells a wide range of medical supplies, offers home visits for patients in Grenada and Carriacou, and opens Monday to Saturday, 10 a.m. through to 7 p.m. Visit or call Hills and Valley Medcare Center today, 435-6904.
Keeping an eye on the weather. This is GBN. We've got you covered.
All right, we continue to monitor developments in the tropics. We cross now to TV6's Sagani Mohammed.
All right, it is going to be a very busy Atlantic hurricane season ahead. Already we're seeing activity in the Atlantic itself, with an area of interest now being dubbed Invest 95L. Thing is, it's in the form of a tropical wave right now. We get them all the time, at least 2 to 5 days, right? And it brings in the heavy downpours, the gusty winds, the streets of flash flooding. And now what we're seeing is by midweek, this system could become a tropical depression. So let's take a look at the data right now and see what's happening, because since Tropical Storm Isaias, which became a hurricane, we haven't really heard a lot of activity happening in the Atlantic, at least where tropical cyclonic development is concerned. But now in the tropics, we definitely have Invest 95L. It is a decent way away from Trinidad and Tobago. So good news is we're not in any direct threat at this time. There are no tropical storm watches or warnings or even alerts being issued for this area of interest, this disturbance that is. But at the same time, we're monitoring it to see where it goes and what it does, because it's moving in that westerly fashion and it's very quickly. So even if it doesn't develop into a tropical depression by the middle of this week, we could still be looking out for a lot of wet weather coming into the Caribbean. But this system does have some challenges ahead in the form of tropical wave action, trying to defy the odds and battle the dreaded Saharan dust plume. You know, that dusty area that gives you the itchy eye and the runny nose, kind of congested feeling? Well, it is impacting this tropical wave, and we're also seeing wind shear. That's winds moving from a southwesterly direction in the upper levels, impacting the system as well. So a lot of things to look out for as the system approaches the Lesser Antilles. The thing is, if it does get a name, it's going to take the J name on our tropical name list, the storm name list that is, and that's going to be Josephine. Already we've been seeing record named storms happening here in terms of how early they develop and where the tracks are for these systems, but we do have a very active season ahead. At least 24 named storms is what's happening in the outlook now, and the number of hurricanes have gone up significantly. Be sure to find me on social media to get a little bit more information as to what's happening in the Atlantic as a whole, but that's still some time away. Let's look at the short-term forecast, and what I can tell you right now, Trinidad and Tobago, we had an interesting day at the polls. You got that seesaw of sunshine and cloudiness, some quick passing showers. Tonight will be no different. We're seeing some spotty showers with some partly cloudy spells, not just across Trinidad and the western areas, but across the majority of the island, as well as in Tobago. And you'll notice our temperatures dropping, still kind of warm, lows dipping to the mid-20s for Trinidad and Tobago this evening. And again, the shower reactivity persists. No isolated thunderstorms just yet, but we could see that into tomorrow's forecast. Between sunrise and sunset, you might want to have the umbrellas on hand and probably a bottle of water because it's going to be steamy. Temperatures get up to 33 degrees Celsius in Trinidad. Tobago coming in at an equally warm, a whopping 32 degrees during the daytime period. We get that seesaw again, the partly cloudy spells mixing in with the sunshine, and of course, where you have showers and heavy downpours occurring, even isolated thunderstorms, you want to look out for the possibility of gusty winds and street or flash flooding occurring in areas approach. So again, brollies on hand and a bottle of water for the heat, right? That's a wrap in your forecast. Your marine weather forecast comes up in a short while. You want to stay tuned for that if you have an interest offshore.
All right, time for weather for Grenada, Carriacou and PT Martinique, valid for tonight and the following 3 days. Weather tonight, mostly fair, becoming partly cloudy toward morning with brief isolated showers. Tonight's minimum temperature, 24.5 degrees Celsius. Wind northeasterly to easterly at 5 to 15 miles per hour, becoming variable to calm at times. Seas moderate, waves 3 to 5 feet in open water. Tides moderate, waves 3 to 5 feet in open water. We can tell you, of course, sunrise tomorrow morning, 5:56. The weather on Tuesday, the 11th of August, fair to partly cloudy with possible isolated morning and afternoon isolated showers. On Wednesday, the 12th, generally fair, becoming partly cloudy during the evening into the night with a medium chance of isolated to scattered showers. And on Thursday the 13th, generally fair, becoming partly cloudy by mid-morning into the afternoon with isolated showers. That is a look at the weather.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements? Or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 418-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Fallage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
Opio.com. Sale. All the outlets, hotspot outlets. You're going to go to the Carnage, the Grenville, or the Sutter's hotspot, and you get sales and deals on all items. You can get these on potato, you can get these on saltfish, onion, garlic, mackerel, toilet paper, and we even have the currants and the raisin at $10 per pound, lowest price island-wide. So people just come down or go up or go across, but just make sure and go to hotspots.
The Esplanade Mall, something for everyone. Go on a shopping spree today and experience some magic.
Good evening, sporting fans. Veteran Grenadian sports journalist and commentator Ray Roberts says despite the significant growth in sports in the OECS, a major concern now is the continuation of that buffer for growth as was seen in the 80s and 90s. He says representation on the international scene and major sporting arenas is not enough.
But I still maintain you need to have quality domestic, sub-regional and regional tournaments so that people can grow from one stage to another. Yes, many of our people are in the United States and they keep their nationality, so they represent us. But we need to see what we had in the 70s and 80s, that flourishing boxing and table tennis and lawn tennis and cricket and football. We need to rekindle those things. I cannot see any replacement for it.
Robert says tertiary education is now the end of most sportsmen and women's journeys in the field.
And you're wondering, wasn't that the athlete from SAS or whichever secondary school who was a bright prospect in the 100 meters, 400 meters, or in cricket? And then he tells you, well, look, I wouldn't make the national team, or I wouldn't get beyond that. So I've started to sing calypso, or I've started to do something else that perhaps may not have been his calling. So, Michael, my take is that we need to review the domestic area of sub-regional sports in particular and ensure that there are levels that we can climb and grow.
Former OECS sports coordinator Joseph Reds Pereira adds that a lack of club structure in the various sporting disciplines is another hindrance to development.
And way back in 1985, I remember telling Dr. Von Lewis, the director of the OECS, the Director General, that one of the weaknesses of OECS sport was the weakness of associations and the weakness of the clubs. And I will say very quickly, I will finish now making this point. In 1985-86, the associations in the OECS were much stronger. I think now they are a lot weaker for the same fact that you do not have the club structure.
Meanwhile, the veteran sports journalist says the level of sports reporting and sharing among sports reporters and writers in the sub-region has greatly diminished.
I could have said to you the St. Lucia cricket season, who were the top players, emerging names. The same thing I say in Dominica. I can't remember my friendly name in Dominica, but we had this constant sharing of information. St. Vincent, I mean, Mike Findlay used to be part of that also too. So there are quite a number of names you could have called. Well, I mean, Reds was accessible just about every moment. Reds could tell you something about the tournament.
He says real-time reporting on what is happening in sports in Grenada and the rest of the region has died and may not be rekindled. Well, former West Indies fast bowler turned pundit Ian Bishop has lamented somewhat of a tumultuous introduction to global T20 cricket in the Caribbean, which he believes has set the region back. The shortest format of the game, which began to gain prominence in the mid-2000s, initially had a bumpy introduction to the region as leagues clashed with the schedule of international cricket. The scheduling clash, combined with the rules of the then administration, saw several of the team's top players unable to take part in the longer formats of one-day internationals and Test cricket. The discrepancy saw an experienced West Indies team claim 2 T20 World Championships, but continue to struggle in the other formats. Bishop believes the availability of the likes of Chris Gale, Dwayne Bravo, Sunil Narayan and Kairam Paula during the period could have added much-needed experience and firepower to the Windies lineup. And James Anderson has dismissed the idea that he is on the brink of retirement and instead reiterated his desire to play on to the Ashes and beyond. Anderson, 38, and the highest wicket taker among seam bowlers in the history of Test cricket, endured what he termed a bad game at Emirates Old Trafford. But although he admitted the opportunity to retire could be taken out of his hands by the selectors if he did not bowl better, he insisted he was determined to work hard to try to put things right, and believed he still has quite a few more tests left in him.
No, there's not. No, absolutely not. You know, it's been a frustrating week for me personally, just because I've not bowled very well, felt out of rhythm, and probably for the first time in sort of 10 years, probably, I got a little bit emotional on the field, started getting frustrated, let that get to me a little bit, and probably reminded me of when I first started playing, when you get frustrated and a little bit angry, you try and start bowling quicker and quicker, and that obviously doesn't help on the field. So for me, it's a case of trying to, you know, once we get down to Southampton, work really hard the next couple of days, try and figure out what, you know, if there's any technical issues I can sort out, and just, yeah, try and work hard and hope that I get the nod for the next game, and I can try and show people that I've still got what it takes to play Test cricket.
All right, so over the weekend, England snatched a riveting 3-wicket victory over Pakistan in the first Test at Emirates Old Trafford, thanks to a daring partnership between Chris Woakes and Jos Buttler. Chasing 277 on a snake pit of a pitch, England looked all but beaten at 117 for 5, only for Woakes and Buttler to counter-attack in a partnership of 139. That's the sports news for now. Time for Around the Globe. More than 1.1 million people were eligible to cast ballots on Monday as Trinidad and Tobago elects a new government to administer the affairs of the oil-rich Twin Island Republic for the next 5 years. While 19 political parties and 146 candidates are contesting the elections, political observers say the poll is a straight fight between the ruling People's National Movement, PNM, and the main opposition United National Congress, UNC, for control of the 41-seat parliament. In the 2015 general elections, the PNM won 23 of the seats, with the remainder going to the UNC and the Congress of the People, COP, the latter being part of the then People's Partnership government in which the UNC was the major player. Meanwhile, as opposition leader Kamla Persad-Bissessar cast her vote in the general elections, she expressed disappointment that international election observers were not able to be present to monitor the polls there. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley said that invitations had been sent to the Commonwealth and the 15-member Caribbean Community CARICOM to send observers, but that they would have had to arrive in Trinidad in time to undergo the 14-day quarantine period. He said that the regional and international observers had indicated that the venture would be too expensive and that his administration had decided against providing assistance for fear of it being regarded as trying to influence the observers in their duties. Persad-Bissessar, the first woman to serve as head of government in Trinidad and Tobago, said that her party's machinery had been working well and was confident of reversing the 2015 defeat her People's Partnership administration suffered at the hands of the Rowley-led People's National Movement. And police in Hong Kong have arrested one of the most prominent figures under the new national security law. Jimmy Lyle and 6 others linked to his pro-democracy newspaper, Apple Daily, are in custody on charges of colluding with foreign forces. The Hong Kong Journalists Association says it is a worrying development for media freedom. Al Jazeera's Sarah Clark reports.
Police made the arrests on Monday morning, detaining Jimmy Lai at his home in Kowloon. The founder of the pro-democracy newspaper Apple Daily is well known for his criticism of China's Communist Party. He's been arrested on suspicion of foreign collusion under the national security law imposed by China last month.
This morning at around 9:45, together with our colleagues from the Criminal Investigation Department and military staff, we got a warrant to conduct an operation to search for evidence.
Lai wasn't the only arrest on Monday. 2 of Lai's sons were also arrested. More than 200 police raided Apple Daily's headquarters, detaining senior executives, including the tabloid's chief executive officer. Detectives searched computers and interviewed staff.
Many are shocked and horrified, including myself. And I think this is sent out a very, very negative message. And of course, it must have a chilling effect on people who want to speak out, and particularly on the news media. So this is a very, very disturbing development.
The national security legislation targets acts of subversion, terrorism, secession and collusion with foreign forces. The maximum penalty is life in prison. Critics say the legislation is being used by China's leaders to silence the opposition and crack down on democracy in the semi-autonomous region. The Hong Kong Journalists Association says it's a worrying development for media freedom.
It never happened before in Hong Kong in recent, perhaps, decades. We've seen that perhaps in third world cities and countries, but we never expected that would have happened in Hong Kong, but it did happen, causing direct and indirect threats to press freedom and journalists.
Monday's arrests are the most high profile under the national security law, which was introduced just over a month ago. A number of countries have condemned the legislation, including the United States, United Kingdom, Australia and Canada. But the government here has defended the new law, stating it's crucial to restore order to a city that's been plagued by months of protests. Sarah Clark, Al Jazeera, Hong Kong.
Thank you very much indeed. Stay with us. We'll remind you of the headlines after this. A reminder of the headlines if you're just tuning into the news. Carnival is cancelled, but the revelry was not stopped. Black Jabs make deliberate, unimpeded parade in front of St. Paul's Police Station. Canadian journalist and newspaper publisher says he fears for his life, hence his refusal to enter state-appointed quarantine facility. Family members appealing for assistance in identifying hit-and-run driver. Weekend of grief following Concord's social gathering. In the sports news, sports journalist says representation on the international scene and major sporting arenas is not enough. And in around the globe, Trinidad and Tobago nationals cast ballots on Monday to elect a new government, and Hong Kong business tycoon Jimmy Lau arrested. That's all from us at the GBN Newsroom. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kenroy, Baptiste. We'll see you next time. Good night.